Like always say, a lot of boxing fans have the memory of goldfish and they forget what led up to the fight and what happened during the fight. They only remember the results. But in this fight with AJ versus Usyk, AJ came in very, very light for this fight. I remember it was a big deal about the weight, and I think that that affected him down the stretch because the fight was practically a back and forth fight into the later rounds of the fight where AJ started to gas out. And I think it's because he focused too much on his weight and the game plan coming in was very simplistic. But check this out.
I just ask you about the weight, 17-2. It's about what you were for Pulev. Is that what you thought you would come in at?
I said I don't really watch my weight. I don't really look at it like that. I am what I am at the end of the day. I don't know why there is this big thing about weights. I think because we're heavyweights, people normally look at when we're at our heaviest. I've been there. I was at 18 something at one stage. What was that?
18-2 against Takam was your heaviest back in 2017.
I still managed to throw a load of combos, went 10 rounds, so now I should be able to do the 12 rounds easily because weight does make a difference. And also, as long as you're loose, you're nimble, loose and heavy, relaxed shots, I should be good. It should be good. And as I said, I don't watch the weight, but if I was heavier doing it, now I'm lighter, I should be able to do it with a lot more ease.
Last one.
Your weight, I think more than anything else in your career, sometimes on the scales, the weights have been different. You do look lean, though. Is that a conscious thing, or is that the body just responds to the training that you're doing? You never look at your weight, or is this a tactical thing that you are trying to come in a little bit lighter?
No, I do look at my weight, but it's not like I'm not trying to make weight. I'm a heavyweight at the end of the day. So what I tend to do is I tailor my training. I'm getting a lot of experience. I've been fighting good fights for a long time. So when I fight good fighters, I study them. I get to learn a lot about their training camps. So from fighting like Dylan, let's say when I fought like Ruiz, I learned a lot from that fight. Klitschko's of the world, Povetkin's, now Usyk's of the world, Joseph Parker's, who was a champion. From the Olympics, the World Championships, I studied a lot, and I've just learned how to condition my body for specific fights. So I'm looking trim for this fight. I'm fighting a guy who's a 12-round fighter. Do you know what I mean? So it would be silly of me to go in there bulky with my muscles screaming for oxygen. I've been training like a 15-round fighter in this camp, and I'll be well conditioned to fight. So that's the key. And what happens when I train that way is my body just adapts and takes its natural form, and this is the form it's taken.
Your head, like, what would you say is something that like really stands out to you as something you've learned tonight?
It's good to go to 12 rounds. There was always that question around the stamina. So it was nice.
You're fine, you're good.
Yes, it was good to get the 12 rounds in.
You want to choose you, you.
Yeah.
Choose him, you want to choose him.
So it's like a good 12 round. I get someone that's lighter. I feel like if it's normal, fully blown heavyweight, they probably wouldn't last the full distance.
So what I get from that is AJ is a very coachable guy, and he's going to ride and live and die on the game plan. He's going to do exactly what his corner wants him to do, inside the ring and outside the ring as far as weight. I feel like it just caught up to him. He didn't have enough logs on the fire to make it, down the later part of the stretch where Usyk got stronger and AJ kind of fatigued. Like he even after the fight, he sat on his stool and he didn't get up. He was so exhausted. But like I said, he follows the game plan to the T. You remember in the Andy Ruiz fight when he came back to the corner and he was asking his corner what to do? He relies heavily on the game plan and in his coaches, and that's exactly what went wrong for him during the fight. Watch Rob McCracken give him instructions and him follow it to the T. Rob McCracken instructs AJ to throw an uppercut in the corner, and what is the first punch he throws of the round? An uppercut. So he relies heavily on his corner. So like I said, AJ lives and dies on the game plan, and their game plan coming into this fight was to leave the lead hand out there and pivot and steer and control Usyk's head and use head control. Listen to Rob McCracken say brilliant control to AJ during the fight.
So many feints from both these fighters.
Like I said, it's a tactic, not a game plan, because eventually high-level fighters will figure you out. Look here, Usyk comes in with the lead hand, pulls his guard down, and lands a shot over the top. And AJ lives and dies on the game plan. What does he go back to doing? He puts his lead hand on Usyk's shoulder, steers him, using his strength and his muscles, and pushes him off to a distance. So he lives and dies on that game plan. It's just that Usyk made an adjustment to it. And a lot of times during the fight, AJ would get caught reaching, look, with both hands, trying to control him. Look, he's reaching with both hands, and he would leave that opening for the left. But right here, he actually grabs Usyk by the head and steers him off balance, so he's not able to load up for that left hand. But if Usyk would have just shot the left hand and not loaded up for power, he would have caught him. But like I said, it worked some of the times, but it was a tactic, not a game plan. And AJ was getting very physical with him, so he was effective at times with this. But you can't, at a high level boxer like Usyk will make this adjustment, and you just can't do it continuously, do it the whole fight and it be successful. And like, watch here, Usyk touches with AJ, then he acts like he's gonna pull the guard down, feints that, and then shoots it right through the center. And that's why you can't continuously do the same tactic and not expect Usyk to make an adjustment off of it. Especially when you're giving him time to think. But Joshua made adjustments too. Look, right here he slips, get Alexander's eyes to go outside, and lands the right hand right down the middle. He didn't telegraph it or anything, shot it straight down the middle. That was a good adjustment he made without his corner's help. Right here, he counters off the jab again. This time, he leans to his left outside of Usyk's jab and throws the left hook. But this is genius. When he throws that left hook, he has so much power, he forces Usyk right in line with his right hand, and then he throws the right hand straight. He took power off his shots in the 6th round, and that's the best round that Anthony Joshua had of the entire fight, because AJ hurt Usyk several times in this fight. Right here, he jabs to his guard and then shoots through the center, and Usyk gets back and blows his nose and then wipes it. That's his way of trying to play it off that he got caught by a big shot. AJ must understand that Usyk is a professional, and his strongest strength is his mind, and he's not going to tell you when he's hurt. So AJ has to be recognized when he has Usyk hurt, because he had him hurt several times in the fight, and this one being the most devastating of the fight, he caught Usyk coming in and he threw the shot straight. He didn't telegraph it. He didn't load up for power. He just shot the shot out there, and because he's such a big man, it had a lot of effect. Like right here, Usyk tries to get the angle, touches AJ's jab. And notice Anthony Joshua's not up high, he's down low. And then he throws another jab, and then he's preparing to leap in, and then AJ catches him with the right hand. That is the hardest shot of the entire fight between both fighters, and the most devastating. But AJ just didn't recognize that he had him hurt. So in this fight, the adjustments that he needs to make is not typically what everyone thinks. Everybody's just saying, oh, go to the body, go to the body. But Usyk is, like I said, a skilled fighter, and you can't do the exact same thing. You have to mix it up, change speeds, understand that Usyk does not like to fight in the inside. AJ has the advantage on the inside, and at some point of the fight, it will end up in the inside. But like I said, look, right here he's throwing hooks and moving Usyk the direction that he wants him to move. He has to do those things during the fight. He has to take and build. He has a lot of stuff to build on from the second fight, and I see them working on these things, and with the pads, like the uppercut to the body that was effective in the first fight. Look, he counters Usyk's jab right here, ducks up under it, and counters with the body shot. That was a very effective shot in the first fight. And especially because AJ made an adjustment on that. That was a game plan coming in, but he used it off of his jab. Look, right here, Usyk commits so much to his jab that he would lunge in, and AJ would just duck up under it and come underneath with the uppercut to the body, and it was very effective. His best rounds were in 6 and 8, and that's when he implemented the body attack. AJ and his team has to understand that Usyk does not fight in the inside, and at some point it will end up in the inside, like here, and AJ catches him with an uppercut to the body, and so does Derek Chisora, and he complains to the ref in both occasions because he's uncomfortable. He does not like that. He does not like to fight in the inside. That's not a comfortable range for him. Look right here, Usyk looks to the referee and tells the referee to tell AJ something because he's not comfortable. But like I said, he does not fight in the inside. Look, him and Derek Chisora in the clinch. Derek Chisora throws the right hook to the body and catches him underneath. And what does he do? He bends over, folds in pain, and then looks to the referee and tells the referee it was a low blow, even though it wasn't. He's not comfortable fighting in the inside. And as AJ understands that at some point of the fight that it's going to end up in the inside, control the outside, and when you get in the inside, control that, he could beat Usyk by points if he understands those things. Look at Usyk. This is the second round of the Chisora fight. Look at him take that deep breath. He does not like body shots. And if AJ comes in and does what he needs to do, he can win the fight. If AJ can implement all the things he did well, like right here throwing the right hand to the chest, knocking him off balance, putting him out of position, if he can combine all the things and control the outside and the inside, he can beat Usyk. He can't let Usyk think. Like right here, he catches Usyk at a long range distance with the right hook, and moves Usyk the direction that he wants to move him. And then he's putting pressure on him, not giving him space to think. And then what does he do? He throws the left hook to send him back the other direction. If he could do these things and be consistent throughout the whole fight, combined with a fierce body attack, AJ could win the fight on points. And I think that that's exactly what's going to happen. I think AJ is going to win the fight on points. Most people, the average fans say that, AJ is going to come in and do a body attack. I think Usyk is going to surprise a lot of people in this fight and go to AJ's body also. So this is going to be a very interesting fight in my eyes. But anyway, that's going to be very difficult because Usyk already has Anthony Joshua playing the game. At the top, that's the first face-off that they had. Notice Anthony Joshua is looking at the top of Usyk's forehead. He's not giving him any eye contact. At the bottom, he's giving him eye contact. And Usyk has a little smirk on his face, a semi-smirk, and he makes Anthony Joshua break eye contact. So that shows me Anthony Joshua's mindset going in. He can't beat Usyk at Usyk's game. Usyk even celebrates after this. He says thank you for your cooperation, gave him a thumbs up. But luckily, AJ is so physically big that if he imposes will, and like in the words of Emmanuel Stewart, don't let your hands go, you're a big man, he can still win the fight. But anyway, it's the Boxer Scholar, and I'm out.